and welcome to the fifth episode of Tesseract Talks, the place where we put the spotlight on tech trends, startups, and VCs. My name is Marko. I'm the founder and CEO of Tesseract Analytics, and it is my pleasure today to have John Thompson as our guest. He's an author of 5 books on data, AI, analytics teams, a keynote speaker with a career over 4 decades in tech. Welcome, John. How are you?
I'm great, Marko. How are you today? I'm so excited to be here with you. Thank you very much.
Great. In preparation for this episode, I finished your new book, The Path to AGI, and I really enjoyed it. It's very insightful, great timing. It came out now with everything that's happening. We will, of course, discuss your book in more detail. But first, let's start with an overview of your career for the listeners that included companies like IBM, SAP, Dell, Gartner, CSL, EY, and more. Take us chronologically through your career and roles you had so we can get a better understanding of your background.
Thanks for that opportunity, Marko. And yes, I've been working in data and AI and analytics for 40 years. It's been quite a while, and it's been exciting. I started out a career out of college. I was a computer science major, and I got out and I started building systems in assembler, which is an old language that many people aren't even aware of anymore. But I worked for a few years in an IT department, and then I found out that there were companies out there doing data and analytics full time. That was their role. So I joined a company called Metaphor, and we built all sorts of data warehouses and business intelligence systems. And then I got the bug about advanced analytics and statistics, and I ended up at IBM for a few years, and then I was part of the early data mining, wave. I worked at a company called Magnify, and then I ended up at Dell running the advanced analytics division there. Spent some time, as you said, at CSL, which is the second largest biopharmaceutical company in the world. And then most recently, I spent some time at Gartner as well. And then most recently, I was at EY as the global head of AI. So I've been parts of teams that have put in over 100 predictive analytic applications into production, and I've worked across 20 different industries in various places like the United States and London and Japan and Brazil and different places like that. So it's been a very exciting 4 decades.
Very impressive career so far. You've published 5 books on topics covering analytics, data, AI, and your latest book that came out about 3 months ago is called The Path to AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. Tell us more about the book. What is the focus and what are some key takeaways?
Well, I was really impressed that you said you got through it because it came out a month ago and it's a 400 plus page book. I'm like, that's impressive, Marko. That's really something. So, as you and I were talking about before we came on air, there's many people out there saying that there's, AGI is here. It's going to be here next week or next month or something like that. And I really felt like they were misleading, people. They were misleading the general public. We're nowhere near AGI. AGI is coming, and we're going to get there. And the speed of innovation is truly impressive right now. Gen AI and the vendors that are working on it are really doing some great stuff. And universities are really pressing their research agendas really fast and forward. So it's very impressive. So I don't want people to take away from the book. I say in the book that we're 120 years away from AGI, which I do think we are. But we're going to need that entire time to build out governance, frameworks, the integration between causal AI, generative AI, foundational AI. We have a lot of work to do. This is a very hard problem. So the reason I wrote the book was for everybody. I didn't write it for technologists. I wrote it for people who are, not technology Luddites, but laymen, to understand what are the 3 families of AI? How are they going to come together? What is the status of those things today? What's the future, and how they're going to come together. So the book is really a roadmap of the future of AI.
I think in the book you break down some complex ideas clearly, making it really engaging for the reader. You're now a professor at University of Michigan, where you teach a course based on your second book, Building Analytics Teams. What are some of the main things organizations should focus on doing, and what should they avoid doing when building efficient analytics teams?
Well, that's a great question, Marko. And yes, I've been teaching at Michigan now, and I've really enjoyed it. Interfacing with the students, graduates is a whole new perspective on how to be able to explain and be able to communicate, about analytics teams. And the reason I wrote this book, or the second book, was because analytics teams are different. They're dramatically different. Most people, most executives anyway, non-technical executives, think that analytics teams are just like tech teams. They're like development teams, and they're nothing like that. So, building and managing an analytics teams is like managing an orchestra or a band or a collective of artists. It's a bunch of people that are highly intelligent, fast thinking, very creative. So if you're building an analytics team, you need to understand the role of failure, the ability to give people a portfolio of work that they can focus on and allow them the creative freedom to fail in their endeavors. So those are the highlights of what people should do. And what people shouldn't do, they really shouldn't look at an analytics team as a development team. You can't go into an analytics project and just say, hey, this is going to be done next week or next month. You have to have some flexibility for experimentation and, a little bit of iteration in there to make things really work.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, thank you, John, so much for your valuable insights. I'm sure people listening will check out your books. That was all for today. It was a pleasure having you, and I hope we will continue this talk perhaps in another episode in future. Until next episode, wishing you and our audience all the best.
Thanks, Marko. See you soon.
See you soon.